Hello! Today I want to talk about something that quietly touches all of our lives, every single day. Let's pull back the curtain on the hidden story of inflation.
You know, aren't we all a little tired of watching prices keep climbing higher and higher every month? Groceries, rent, gas. It just feels like the dollar doesn't stretch as far as it used to, doesn't it?
Now, most people call it inflation, but I found that very few of us really understand what's happening behind the scenes.
So today, I'd like to share something I've learned over many years, something that really changed the way I see money.
And if you'll let me, I'll walk you through it, just as simply and honestly as I can. My hope is that understanding this might just help you and your family position yourselves a little better in the years ahead.
Okay, so let's start with the real story of inflation. We're often told it's just prices going up, but that's only half the picture. The real issue is that the value of our money is going down. Here's a simple way to think about it. If you keep adding water to a glass of orange juice, the juice gets weaker, right? Well, money works the same way. When more and more money is created, each dollar just buys a little less. It's not that the things you buy are suddenly worth more, it's that your dollar is worth less. And this is the crucial part. This weakening of the dollar isn't random. It actually creates a quiet but very powerful transfer of wealth. Let me show you what I mean. I want you to picture a seesaw. On one end, you have cash and savings. As more dollars get created, that side gets heavier and it sinks down. But on the other side of the seesaw, you have real assets, things like homes, businesses, or stocks. As the value of the dollar falls, the price of these assets, well, it goes up. So you might be wondering, well, how does this transfer actually happen? To see it clearly, all we have to do is follow the path of the new money. You see, new money doesn't just appear in everyone's bank account all at once. It flows more like a river. It usually starts at the top with large banks and financial institutions. They get to use it first, often buying up assets while prices are still relatively low. By the time that money trickles all the way down to the rest of us in the form of wages, the prices for everything have already started to rise. And this process, as you can imagine, naturally creates two very different experiences in the same economy. For some, it feels like they're always swimming against the current, and for others, it's like having the wind at their back. So let's break it down. Who gets hurt by this? Well, it's the savers, retirees living on a fixed pension, and really anyone whose paycheck isn't keeping up. Their money just buys less and less each day. And on the other side, who can benefit? It's often the owners of those assets, real estate, stocks, the things that are rising in price. And also, surprisingly, people with fixed rate debt, like a mortgage. This analysis from Money.com says it perfectly. Think about it. If you have a fixed mortgage payment of, say, $1,500 a month, that payment doesn't change. But as years go by and wages and other prices rise, you're paying back that old debt with newer, cheaper dollars. In a way, your debt is actually shrinking over time. And this really is the fundamental difference in strategy. Many of us are taught to save cash, but often the wealthy are taught to hold very little of their net worth in cash. Instead, their wealth is in the things on the upside of that seesaw: businesses, property, and other assets that tend to hold their value or even rise as the dollar weakens. Now, I know hearing all of this can feel a little heavy, but my intention here isn't to make you feel anxious. It's actually the opposite. It's to empower you with a new lens, a new way of seeing the financial world we all live in. It's about changing the story we tell ourselves about money. So what can you do? It can start with a simple shift in thinking. Maybe begin to think a little more like an owner and not just a saver. Try to understand how some kinds of debt, like a fixed mortgage on a home, can actually work for you over the long term. And maybe most importantly, just stay curious. Keep learning. This journey could mean learning more about owning real assets, whatever that looks like for you and your family. It could even mean learning about new potential assets, like Bitcoin, not as a get-rich-quick gamble, but as one small part of a well-thought-out, long-term plan that you take the time to really understand for yourself. And that really is the key. You don't have to figure it all out overnight. The goal isn't to be perfect, but just to be a little more aware than you were yesterday. Understanding this hidden story of inflation truly is the first step. From there, you can start small, stay consistent, and begin to gently position yourself on the better side of that seesaw.